Welcome to Morpheus Trading Group. Today's ETF technical setup is for the DB Commodity Index Tracking ETF, ticker DBC, again ticker DBC, and we call this setup the breakaway gap setup. Now there are several aspects to this particular technical setup that are important to give us a better chance or a much greater likelihood of success in this particular trade. The first thing we look for is a long-term trend line that's been in place for several months to maybe as long as a year. In this case, we have a trend that's been in place since late August of 2010, and it is represented by this dashed black line. Now the second thing that we're looking for is a breakaway gap. And a breakaway gap is sort of a space that's formed here because the opening price of this candle, which is right here, the opening price on this particular day, is significantly lower than the close on the previous day. The closing price is right here on the previous day. So the price gaps down, and basically we establish resistance at this gap. Notice how we've never been able to come back up and reclaim this gap. It's a very violent move, and when it's accompanied by big volume, which is another thing we look for, is big volume spike, it puts fear in the hearts of anyone who is purchasing in this range. They are now trapped. They're trapped by the gap, and any attempts or any rallies up towards that gap is going to be typically met with selling from the people who were trapped in the trade after a big gap down like this. The third thing we look for is consolidation, and by consolidation, generally what we're looking for is either sideways action or a sequence of lower highs being set. So we have a lower high here. We have the same low. Lower high here, about the same low. Now something interesting has taken place in the past 4 trading sessions. We have a resistance level now around $29.45. Notice on these particular days, these 2 days, this day and this day, this one and this one, we've been unable to get above the $29.45 resistance mark. Each time we've gotten there, we've sold off. On these 2 days, of further interest on these 2 days, we've been unable to break below 28.60. So this is acting as support. Every time we come to this 28.60 mark, we've bounced off and gone higher. So now we've established that we're in a trading range or in a consolidation range. And typically there's one of 2 alternatives that will occur that will provide us with a potential opportunity to short DBC. The first alternative would be a rally back towards resistance of 29.45. And by the time, if we were to get back up there, the 20-period moving average, this line right here, is also going to act as resistance. It's going to converge right in here. What we would look to do in this alternative would be to take a short position somewhere in this range, right around here, this 20, or just at or near the 29.45 mark, and then ride the trade out to establish a new lower low, a new swing low, somewhere near the 200-period moving average would be our projected target, somewhere in that range. Alternative number 2 would be to seek some sideways consolidation where we don't really rally much or we don't bounce much, but we just move sideways for several days. And then during that time period, we continue to test support at 28.60. We just keep banging into support at 28.60. Eventually we break that support level, and then we look for the same projected target somewhere in the range of the 200 period moving average as a price target. If you liked this analysis today, please join us at www.morpheustrading.com. Again, www.morpheustrading.com. And sign up for your free subscription to receive analysis like this every day. We hope to see you again soon.